Hiya! Recently I drew a random speed paint of a girl in a hood and I thought that would be a nice let's draw to do. So that's how we got here today. Let's get started. We'll draw a girl in a hood. So first things first, we're going to want to draw her cranium, which means we're going to start with a circle about the size of her headish, how we're going to think it should look. So something like that. Doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Your guides can be plenty messy. And I'm actually going to move mine over a little tiny bit. I'm thinking there'll be a little more space in front of her head than behind, but we also want some room for the hood. So next we're going to draw the guideline. Essentially for the center of her face, it's going to be the vertical guideline, and I'll just start here. It'll kind of curve down a little bit like this. Made it a little messy. I can just erase it until I'm happy with it. And then I kind of, it doesn't really matter where you stop it, but I kind of try to think about like where the chin might be, and I usually leave like maybe this would be like 2/3 and this will be like another third of a distance kind of thing, or 3/4. And then next we're going to draw her eye line. I usually draw the eyes actually under this. This is the, horizontal guideline that we'll talk about. I put mine in a little bit down further on the guide circle, maybe like 2/3 to 3/4 of the way down. And then just like I said, her eyes will be right here. And then the next thing we're going to do is draw in kind of the face shape. And I'm not going to stick to the width of the circle or anything, but I'm going to kind of follow it a little bit. So right where the eyes are, it'll go in a little bit, and then her cheek will come out a little bit. And then her face shape, this does not have to be a perfect face shape to begin with, just kind of an idea. Her face might come down, meet down here. That'll be good. I'll probably reform all this again, like I said, so don't worry about it being too perfect. I'm not going to go all the way out here because your face isn't, you don't have totally round heads, so I'll stop about here, go down, and then I'll work out that the jawline is about there. It's a little less important for females that their jawlines match up perfectly because they're just kind of rounded. So this will be good, I think, if I can get that like so. Okay, next up we'll just draw in some lines for the neck. I usually put it a little bit further behind this chin area here, and we're again totally up for redoing these as our sketch develops, but we're just gesturing it in for now. And then I'm going to draw kind of like the collarbone line here, kind of put where her shoulders might be. This one actually probably go down a little bit, just kind of picturing how it would be. Something over here, maybe that's a little too far over. I'll work it out when I actually draw the shoulders in. And then we're going to draw kind of an action line, I guess, or just sort of a line to help us so we don't make her too straight backed or whatever. Just something to follow. So we go out a little bit and then we start coming down. And I'm actually going to, you'll have to forgive me, move my thing down just a little bit, so I'll have plenty of room for that. Okay, and then we're just going to kind of draw in the shape of her, break up her body into guidelines or whatever. So that would be, the chest area, and then this goes out a bit. Following this, the waist might go in, and then we just won't see the rest of her here. And yeah, I think that her arms will just kind of be going off. We won't worry about them or anything. This will be good. I'm going to just flesh out her body now. So I'll bring her shoulders out, her arm a little bit like that. Bring this shoulder out, and her arm, I'm going to bring this shoulder down, I think, a little bit like that. Perhaps this one could go out a little bit more of a slant, just whatever looks right. And then we'll just kind of reform this shape like this, whatever works. And like that. And yeah, we got the shape of the body, shape of the head. The head might be a little bit too big. We'll work on it. So next, let's draw on some facial features, and I'll zoom in so it's a little bit easier to see. I start with the top of the eyes, and I just sketch them in here. By the way, I usually do like a lot of micro edits as I'm going on the computer, but I try not to make too many of those just in case someone's like trying to draw along without a computer or whatever. You can always erase and readjust. Okay, so that's the eye, top of the eye number 1. I don't know why I detailed it that much because I got distracted talking, but you get the idea. So yeah, we'll draw on eye number 2. They're about an eye length apart. If you think your eyes look too big or small, the general rule for me is they're about an eye length apart, and then I usually leave about like an eye length or so there. This one might actually be okay to like move in a little tiny bit, but I'm just gonna move it over this way. Bring this in a little bit like that. The nose kind of goes around here. In general, it'll be, because of the angle, it'll be a little more on this side. So usually what I do is I kind of draw in the bridge line here, and then you can picture, or if you like, I don't draw the bridge of the nose usually as my style, but you could draw it out like this if it helps, and kind of decide where it's going to be. That's maybe a little bit too long. Maybe a little bit in here, a little bit more like that. angle. I don't know, I'm not used to drawing the bridge, so that kind of threw me off a bit. But anyways, right about here, and then you adjust it for how far over it should be, and I'm gonna not have it quite that far over. So I'm gonna erase this stuff. I can move it if I need to later, but for now I'm just gonna kind of place it in for placement's sake. I'll erase all that so it's not in our way. And then the mouth line, you don't want to be too close to the nose, and you don't want it to be too far down so that she doesn't have a chin. It's better to err on the side of making it fit where the nose is than where the chin is. And I actually might move my nose up a little bit before drawing this in, before committing. Just a tiny bit. Sorry for the adjustment. Just looks a little bit too far down. It's hard to tell that sometimes. You know, it's a little bit of an adjustment game. If you're just drawing a random character, it doesn't usually matter. Okay, so the mouth I'm going to put here, and this will give me a little bit of room, like I said, down here. And I'm going to probably move the chin up, but it'll give me that space under the chin, which you also want. Draw in some kind of line for the mouth. We can give her a smile. Why not? Sometimes I do like a little who bend at the lips. Give her top of a lip marking, however you like to draw your lips. Bottom of the lip marking, however you like to draw all that. And there we go. We have some features in. Now that we have those in, I'm going to reshape my face. So this will match up a little bit closer to the eye. Won't go quite as far out. And this again is not the final line. The final line will be when you actually ink it. You know, you kind of want to get it close. Come out like that. Go in like this. Go down, and then right about here is where I'm going to cut the chin. So it's just a little shorter, just kind of match up the features of the face. She actually has a little bit longer of a face than I normally draw. And then we're just going to kind of draw this up a little bit to match here. I usually at the end will break the line. So I think it looks weird to have the jaw connected, but that's my own personal preference. You connect your jaw if you want to connect your jaw. Okay, we'll finish off some of these features. Have her look in here. And have her look in here, and then we'll detail in some creases over the eyes like that and that, and then we'll draw in some eyebrows. Everybody needs their eyebrows. There's one. They go about like right above. It's another preference, but I usually kind of think of them going right about where the corners of the eyes are. Yeah, like so. Make them skinny, thick, whatever style you want. Just marking them in for now. She's got a little bit of a derp eye. I'm gonna fix my derp eye. Maybe you don't mind derp eyes? This one just needs to come over a little bit more to match up. Okay, if we want to draw an ear, it's about the top of the eye and the bottom of the nose-ish. But we're gonna have a hood, so you don't need to draw an ear. But I've already drawn the ear. It'll get erased. We got a good face going here. It might be a little bit big for the body, but we'll just kind of flow out the cape when I do it. So no big deal. We'll fudge it. Okay, before we draw on the hood, let's give her some kind of hair style thingy. Good, just something, I don't know. She'll have some bangs that go over that way, some that come down here and then go up this way maybe. Yeah. And we'll just see a little bit of that over here. We don't need to draw the big long flowy hair right now. We can do that. Maybe we'll have some that come out like that. And maybe she'll have some over here that come down like so. Be like there. Okay, now we have this cranium line kind of left over. If you want to reshape it and kind of picture how the head would be, you can do so. But we're going to have our cape. Now we're going to guide that in. So if this is the top of the head, the cape might go like here and it might go down. And then we'll have it go out behind the thing and swoop out, like, you know, there's some fabric gathering at the bottom here, so it'll have like a little 3D look here, and it'll go in like that. So that's the cape number one. You can kind of work on it. Maybe I don't want it to go that far in, or maybe I want it to go further out there. You can work on it there. And then the tip here where it meets, and once you've figured out the top, will come down and it'll go over her head. It'll go out like this and then meet kind of down here. And that's the shape of the first cape, and you'll see what's actually going to happen. I'll give a little sneak peek. Is you won't see her face after that. I'll leave that in just in case we need it, but just in case it's easier for some people. Okay, so then this top one here comes to the point and then it comes down, and you're just going to see a little bit here go down like this, and then it can come out and meet up down here where the thing is. I'm going to bring this down so it matches up. Matchy matchy. There we go. All right, and then usually there's some kind of tie-off or something. Let's just make a nice, really giant big bow. These big bows are fun to draw. It'll be like a tie bow though, so we'll have it go down like that maybe. I've been doing a lot of bows lately in my work. Maybe not quite that thick of a knot. So a bow like that, and then you make like dog ears on it. Or whatever. These ties end up, you know, matching up with that. Maybe I'll thicken this one out a bit. I can do the same thing here. Give it a little more shape. And then matching up here, we'll draw that line down like that. Erase some of these confusing lines. And then draw this line down like that. And then starting here, we'll draw tie number one out like that. Tie number two out like that. Why not? There we go. I'll erase this too. Okay, and now we're just going to draw the cape. It's just going to be a lot of fabric left. Nothing much more to it than that. So none of this was really important. We were going to, I mean, we could have like a little tiny bit there or something, like you could see a little bit in. For the most part, the cape is just going to be draping off her. So we'll have some lines here to designate the drape of this area here, like this is where her arm is. You can have a little area here to maybe designate where her chest is. So if you want to draw that in like that, just a little bump in the fabric really. Okay, and then just some little touch-ups. So we're going to erase the head. I'm going to reshape this. I want this to be a little bit more flat and go out a little bit like this. Anything you want to fix up now. Now's the time to fix it up. Her whole face, if I was doing the usual method, I might bring it up a little bit this way with the lasso tool, but we're gonna strong through it here, and then I'll just fix it with my pen tool later, but we'll just mark in a little bit more how we want it, like so. And this cape maybe come down a little bit more like so. And that's about it. So you can have an extra line here if you want, so that these match up a little bit like that, and we can refine these details. You can put little wrinkles and stuff here. Hopefully this is not too messy. And I will move this eye in a bit. Any little things you want to fix up before you do your line art. And then I will show you, let's move her hair and hair a little bit like that. Just have a little bit of hair peeking out like this and like that. I'm gonna go up. And yeah, that's about it. I'll show you what it looks like inked and colored right here. And yeah, so there we go. We drew a girl in a cape. Let me know what you want me to do for my next Let's Draw, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode.